Hey, how you going? Guess what? You know the video I made the other day about that dying man's plea to see his dad? Guess what? 5 minutes ago, um, a dying man may get to see his son for a final time after Queensland government foreshadowed the granting of a conditional quarantine exemption. Franz Kine, 80, in hospital on the Gold Coast suffering from pancreatic cancer. One of his sons, Mark Klein, and wife Annelle, are in Sydney, completing the last 7 days of their quarantine after rushing to Australia from Los Angeles. Both are vaccinated and have returned at least 3 negative tests. Premier Anastasia Palaszczuk on Wednesday pledged authorities would work to facilitate a reunion as quickly as possible if New South Wales can guarantee safe transport between safe. However, New South Wales counterpart Gareth Berejiklian says it has already been made clear that her state had done everything it could to allow the reunion. At least a week ago, our health minister spoke, and New South Wales made it clear that there was no impediment for them to make the journey. Can I be clear on that? The New South Wales Premier said. Ms Bicklageden did not clarify whether the New South Wales government would provide Queensland with additional assurances about potential travel arrangements to speed up the process. Meanwhile, Queensland will soon close its borders to Greater Sydney and the surrounding regions of the Central Coast, Blue Mountains, Wollongong, Shellharbour in response to Sydney's growing outbreak. It had only been announced, where is it, that 6 local government areas would join Waverley on the list of from 1 a.m. on Thursday. But Chief Health Officer Dr. Jet Young has now decided to cast the net wider, citing concerns over many Bondi cluster cases being transmitted from fleeting contact. The Delta is a very and we don't want to have it circulating in Queensland, Dr. Young said in a statement on Wednesday evening. Queensland has also been told not to travel to Greater Sydney and surrounding areas in New South Wales as they count down to school holidays. Sunshine State recorded 1 new case in quarantine overnight as confirmation came there have been more instances of the transmission in one of its hotels. 2 people staying on floor 5 in Brisbane Airport's Novotel was infected by a positive case in the adjacent room, Dr. Young said. The cases were previously thought to be acquired overseas. Others staying on the same floor have had their quarantine stay extended as a result. Progress of the quarantine exemption from Mark Klein and his wife Annelle come after pleas with Queensland Health to show compassion. Every day that they are in a hotel is a day less that I have with my son and daughter-in-law. In my last days, he sent a video appeal from his hospital bed. I am asking you, begging you actually let my son and his wife leave their quarantine to come here to be with me. It's my dying wish, please. Come on, man. The man's dying. Please, let him see his son. Is it that hard? Mark Klein says there seems to be some buck passing between the Queensland and Commonwealth. He had received a letter from Prime Minister Scott Morrison expressing support and stating the federal government had no ability to affect state law. And yet the federal government can go all overseas and give to other countries, with aid. It just doesn't make sense that you can't help out your own country when it needs it. Meanwhile, the Premier of Queensland basically said the opposite, so it was a bit of passing the buck situation, he told Nine Network on Wednesday. To be locked in a room in Sydney when all we could take is just a show of compassion by 2 people in government that could change the entire trajectory of the family's experience on the last day of their father. It is inconceivable that they would not allow that, he said, referring to the Queensland Premier and the Health Minister. See, the Health Minister's in trouble for saying the other day that if they're bringing money into the state, she'll give them exemptions, and that's the big news spreading at the moment. How can she say that? Not let these people in. How can we let children from overseas come and have surgery in our hospitals that cost hundreds of thousands of dollars, and yet we can't help out one person that wants to see his dying father's wish? What are you afraid of him getting the virus? He's going to die anyway. No offense, mate. But yeah, so like if it's transported door to door, what are you afraid of? Just doesn't make sense. Why can't you set up a hospital in a motel? Like, have the old man in the motel with a nurse. Give him some dignity and let him die in peace with his son and his daughter-in-law, please. Thanks for watching. You have a good day. Bye-bye. I'll leave the links in the description on his petition. See ya.